Hello, world. Freda Reva Darcy and Patricia O'Connor here. We're coming out of the Soggies. Look at, can you see that glare? Look at that. That's actually sunbeams, actual sunbeams coming through. Everybody back to one, as they used to say in the film industry. If you were an extra or an actor, after they would say roll and you would go through your start, if they cut, they would follow that up with, okay, everybody going again, back to one. So this is our trees in their back to one position. Everything is pretty well restored. And you can see the sun up there is blazing, and we're not out of this rain period. It is just a, let's see if I can flag that. No, you cannot. Anyway, you can see everything's still pretty soggy out there, and we are in between bands, but the worst of the wind is over with. I think the oaks and the redwoods will be okay here for now. And I've put everybody, all the rest of the trees back in some sort of defensive position for the amount of rain that I'm expecting. So this guy is where it is. It will probably get no additional watering from the rain. And it's also one that got watered. It hanging out in the house for 2 days had finally gotten to the point where it was ready for water. This guy wasn't. So even after spending a night in the house, a night in the house, even after that, it didn't need watering this morning. So I'll keep checking on it. All of these guys got put on the deck when it was raining, while it was still raining this morning. This guy got watered. It had finally been out and away from the downpour long enough. And I watered a couple of these guys, which was good. And I'm going to let this guy go one more day. It's substrate. But the pondo got watered, and some of the smaller trees got watered. I think I held off on this one today too, as I did Simply P. By this afternoon, we'll probably be back in the rain, and I'll have to watch these guys. Being winter, they would normally get watered about every 3 days instead of every. They would probably get watered about every 3 days, but with it raining, I can't go by anything. I just need to check them on a day to day and see how they're doing. And so that's kind of where we were at this morning when I got up. I don't think this had gotten any water where it is. That probably got flooded. You can see down in there my water reservoir. Yeah, that little well-timed drop of water will tell you my reservoir is full. So every drop added to that will just go over the side for a second until our levels go down. I can do several things about that. I haven't had to worry about it before. Typically that evaporates off before it would ever get anywhere near full. But we've had quite a bit of rain this year, and we're just getting started when it comes to that this year. The main thing is I wanted to shelter these trees from the wind, because that is not something that we've had to deal with on that level. They were saying 70-mile-an-hour winds, and I do believe some people got that. And I saw signs of some high wind here. Nothing really seemed too out of place. Those lights, I don't know if you can see them, but they are currently attached with those zip ties, and those zip ties are good for a couple of 100 pounds a piece, and that's just what's hanging them. You might be able to see those steel cables. Those are just laced over the top with carabiners, and those are safety. So if something were to happen, they could fall all of 4 inches. Now, that's not to say that the entire rig couldn't be blown over, but I think my rig's okay. it's bolted down to the board, and the board is under that jack, and the jack is jacked down to where all of that weight is on it. So I doubt if any of that's going anywhere over the kind of winds that even they were talking about. So that's pretty much, we got away with that. Yesterday at the store, it was quite interesting. I hadn't seen a pump or a bilge pump or sandbags or quite a few other items that we were, people were every third call was asking us if we had some sort of pump. And fact is, we hadn't seen one of those in over a week until yesterday morning when we got 12, and within an hour they were gone. So that's what's kind of going on here, and how people in our area are having to deal with the water. Meanwhile, I think we've got until we have another high wind event, which we're not out of the woods on that, but until we have another high wind event, I believe these guys are far enough back, and these guys are far enough. See, the cypress doesn't care. It gets water every day, that's fine. That oak has probably been getting too much water. It was good that we dried it out. The maples are right there on the cusp. Whenever it rains in, they will probably get rained on. So right now they're okay. I probably don't need to dump more water on there because that is about to happen anyway. And you can kind of see the wind blew all of those old fronds back, and then also the gust blew this thing bare. I don't remember bending that like that either. That's kind of interesting. So that's kind of what we're looking at here on the porch. I did leave some things out to see how they would fare. I didn't think that would catch much wind, and I did think that pot would probably make for all the aerodynamics of a boat anchor. So I felt like that would probably stay still, and it did, although that's a very expensive bonsai pot, but I didn't feel like I was really taking any chances. With that, I did move this one. I could see that pot taking flight with enough wind coming over that rail. I didn't move this one. I thought as you get closer to the back, it probably gets stymied or whatever. And that guy doesn't look to me like the wind did anything, even to its dead pieces. Like this is a spent piece, but the wind wasn't strong enough to hurt it. All of this got brought inside, and that was a great move. So at this point, I believe all of this stuff right now, even though we're going to probably get more rain this afternoon, I believe this stuff will continue to dry out a little bit, and I will be back on a winter watering schedule, even though I will probably see rain for almost every day this week. We're not going to worry about that affecting our trees in their current shape. We're going to just watch every one of them and do our little scratch the top of the soil test or whatever, and see how they're all doing. Also, those little cubes, all those little trees there, the top of those little mounds that they're in, those get little white whiskery looking. That's the same substrate, but those roots turn kind of a white color when they begin to dry out. It almost looks like gray hairs, but it's not. It's just the way that those little plugs are made and how they start to get a whitish grayish look when they dry out there on the tops and on the edges. And I'll watch for that as a sign to see how dry they're getting. And the main concern was that if I watered and then the next day, instead of them drying out, or the day after that, instead of them drying out, that they got rained on, then that rain is going to make sure that they stay wet for another 3 days. And then if before that 3 days was up, they got rained on again, now all of a sudden you're looking at trees that might have been wet for a week or two, and that is not going to get any better. So look at that blue sky. So that's kind of I'm pretty pleased. I know this is the third time I've kind of gone on about this, but um, this has kind of been what we've been going through this week, and I think they might be predicting one other day where we're going to have thunderstorms and all of that. But I'm going to have to watch. I'm not concerned about the thunder and lightning. If it, how do you prepare for that? That's almost like a sky is falling warning. How do you prepare for that? I'm more concerned about the wind, and because I haven't had enough wind experience here, I don't know what happens. I don't know at what point this thing starts moving around. It does take up enough space and would probably catch quite a bit of air, and if pushed right in the right direction, it might go over the side, and that would probably crack the slab on its way down and destroying the tree. So I don't know about cracking the slab, but that wouldn't be a good thing just to see that go anywhere. Neither would this guy. So until I get a better handle on what wind can do here, I think it's a better move to just bring them in whenever we look at situations like. And in the time that I've lived here, which is going on 3 years now, this is the first time I've heard numbers that high, and I don't think that I wasn't here the whole time. That's just it. And I do know that some people in this area, not too far from here, did suffer losses. People had little sheds that just took off. People lost little temporary buildings. People were made homeless over these winds. So it did do that somewhere. I don't know that it did that here. I couldn't really see any change in the configuration. These guys will move a little, but they don't seem to have. I would say that feeder was hanging down on its own accord. Now it does seem to be interfering with that light. I need to check, what's the deal with that. So other than that, and you can see the sun is peeking in on our place, and it's good to see a little sunshine. We'll take it. We'll take it while we get it, and everything is back. Everything is back in its little place where it belongs. So this is our day off. This is going to be our Thursday drop. We'll go in on another. The rains will be back tomorrow, and with them, whatever, we'll deal with that. And then before that, we'll just head right on into our weekend. I'll probably do something. I might do a drop tonight. It would be nice to do something besides these little weather reports that I've been doing the last couple of days. So with this many videos going up, I would rather do something a little bit more informative than just how we've been dealing with our weather. But I think it's not, it's kind of really what's going on right now, not just for us, but for California and about to be the rest of the country, because what comes off that ocean and socks us is headed everybody's way behind us, as they say. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. I might do a drop tonight. I would like to. If not, our next drop will probably be our Saturday drop. I'll do something on this weekend. Maybe two. I've been doing more than one on the weekends the last couple of weeks. It'd be nice to get back into some sort of tree maintenance swing. Thank you so much for watching.